I forgot to close my door. Okay, grand experiment today. Let's see how this goes. I am actually trying this now on Restream. So we'll see. Oh, okay. Let's see. I'm actually just trying to see if this is actually coming through on everybody. Oh, okay. All right. Well, apparently I'm live on YouTube. Now, this is the great thing. One-man band, total one-man band. All right. Yes. And I am up. I can see myself 3-4 times. This is crazy. Okay. I'm going to close that shit down because nobody wants to see that. How you doing? Happy Friday, everybody. Today's tea is hand solar tea. So this is going to be interesting. I've got everything configured to the chat overlay here in Restream. So please feel free to say hi, talk to me, let me know this is working. Consider it your participation in a grand experiment. Can a 50-year-old man who is sometimes a technological moron figure out all these different things? And I just want to say thank you to the person who suggested Restream. Big props to him. You know who you are. Don't know if he's watching right now because he's probably asleep in bed. But yes, let's have a look at my my God, this is really, really interesting. There you go. All right, now I've got one chat room up. I've got 2 chat rooms up. This is very, very crazy. I'm up to 3 viewers. Who knows if they're on YouTube? Who knows if they're on Twitch? Sorry. Oh, so there are ads. Okay, this is interesting. I'm not signed up for the premium versions of anything yet because obviously, bit of a pandemic, being judicious with my money. I want to see how this works. So yeah, bear with me. Hi, Tim. Hello, Angel Lux. Yes, I'm alive. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. I'm using the free software right now. I'm trying to figure out what's best for me. Hello, Peter Armstrong. Nice of you. Nice of everybody to join me. This is cool. I'm glad everybody's here. Yeah, this is the grand experiment. Let's see which of these things work. I've also been a busy boy. Whisper it very quietly, but I got a Discord server. I know. Turns out I had a Discord account for God knows since God knows when. And after much advice from people on YouTube or Twitch or Twitter, it was like, oh, you need to get a Discord going. Okay, so now I have a Discord server. What I'm going to do with it, no fucking clue. But I've got one. Sorry about the Twitch ads, folks. Who knows? Maybe I will stick on, move more to YouTube, or I don't know. Ads are a horrible but necessary evil, aren't they? I have no control over them, and the monetization, I think I get 1 cent an ad or something. So that's going to be fun. So if there are any ad breaks, that's going to be really interesting. I don't see them on my screen here. Raypad, I'm not giving out the server name yet. I don't even know what I'm going to do. If it's going to be for subscribers, if it's going to be for friends, if it's going to be for Man City fans to gloat. Maybe I'll just start one called Man City Gloat, and you can just sit in there and gloat to yourself. It's been an up and down week for my sportsing teams, and we'll talk about that one in a minute. Okay, so that's interesting replay. All right, so apparently YouTube, I might get an actual warning because I'm streaming simultaneously on 2. But again, if that's the case, I'm sorry, Twitch. I'm learning. I'm trying to get my audiences up and running and killing 2 birds with 1 stone. If that means I can only do 1 day a week on Twitch and 1 day a week on YouTube, so be it. Again, part of the learning curve. Isn't life wonderful? Let's see how nice Twitch are, because if you come back to this channel tomorrow and it's gone, then you know I fucked up. Croncade, thank you. Very nice of you to have watched me back in the day. I was awesome. Was I? Was I? Apparently, you say thank you. So yes, it was nice to be awesome. Hopefully I can be moderately awesome again. Old age hasn't done me down. Hi, Barbara. Hi, RP Genius. Hi, Cronkade. Yes, thank you so much for all the fun comments. This is cool. I've got. I feel like it is a really bizarre feeling to learn these new skills at my age, and still, I mean, by no stretch of the imagination am I, at a good enough level to do this professionally and seamlessly. But it's always fun to learn something new. Like I said, this restream today, and the Discord server and the Patreon page is up once I reclaim the URL that I want, because the URL that I want, my name, is has been sat on by somebody. So I've got to talk to Patreon about that. But yes, I'm gonna, this is good. Working on things. Boom, boom, boom. Exclusive content for subscribers. A phone call on your birthday. I said a phone call. Fuck off. Maybe just a video chat. I don't know, something. But who knows? I'm not doing the OnlyFans thing though. No, Ray, it's not happening. Anyway, what are we going to talk about today? Well, obviously, I'll talk a little bit about my sportsing. First of all, let's get that out of the way. My Liverpool team, horrible. Could not buy a goal at home, cannot buy a win at home. 5 games in a row lost at home for the first time ever. What a horrible, horrible record after a record-breaking season last year. Thought last week when we beat Sheffield United, who are, unfortunately the worst team in the league. We beat them away last week, and I thought, a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, but we were shit against Chelsea yesterday. So, yeah, we won't make top 4. We won't make Champions League. All I hope is that we don't. I'd actually settle for not going into Europe this season. But on the flip side, I'm guaranteed my fucking gardeners have turned up. I said to my wife, what's the odds? 3 minutes into my stream today, the gardeners will turn up, because they normally turn up on a Thursday. They're wonderful guys. They just, mow and blow, and they're wonderful, wonderful people. But now I need to tweak some things because there's going to be blowers going on in the background. I don't know if you can hear it. Welcome to my life. This should be a sitcom. Any Fox or NBC executives want to sign up to Mr. Beer's life? There's death, there's foster kids, there's sex appeal, there's insanity, there's drinking, there's tea. Oh, I'm glad you can't hear them. Because now the dog can, and he's going nuts. So anyway, sportsing, rugby, Wales. Wales played England last week. England World Cup finalists, last season's champions in the Six Nations. And they came to Cardiff, and they went home having been beaten by 40 points to 24, which means Wales won the Triple Crown. We beat Ireland, Scotland, and England on the bounce, which is great. And some English fans will complain that we had a couple of tries given that maybe shouldn't have been given. I actually think, you know what, these things even themselves out. Last year, we couldn't buy a piece of luck to save our lives. This time, we've had a little bit of luck. Both tries could have not been awarded. So, yeah, we won Triple Crown champions. Next up, Italy next week. And then after that, France, providing they're still in the tournament. But anyway, that's my rugby out the way, because I know a lot of you don't have an interest in rugby. It's definitely a minority sport in the American eyes. But to Welshmen, it's important, especially when it comes to playing England. Okay. No, I didn't freeze. I was just having a brain fart. WandaVision. WandaVision wrapped up today. And WandaVision wrapped up last night, actually, because I was in bed looking for something to watch. And boom, at about 11:20 p.m., 11:30 p.m. last night, I got a notification that the final episode was up, the series finale, which is what it's called. So I watched it. And I'm not going to spoil it. But it was satisfying. Very satisfying. Wraps up the entire story. Yeah, watch it. Let me know your thoughts on Twitter. and we'll talk about it next week. But yes, and stay for the scenes afterwards. I won't spoil it. Stay off the internet because there are going to be some dickwads spoiling it like crazy. Yeah, very satisfying. It felt like a logical conclusion. So yes, good job on the WandaVision people. We will have a debrief next week. And what does it mean for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness? What does it mean for Spider-Man 3? Because apparently that it touches into that. The Secret Invasion series that's coming. Whole bunch of Marvel stuff. I gotta say, the thing I love about Marvel in particular is that intro sequence, the Marvel tune, if you will. It's become it's right up there with Star Wars as iconic in my mind, because I've heard it over so many films and TV shows now over the last decade, and it's just a great orchestral intro. Wanda made Snape kill Dumbledore. Actually, Wanda made Pep go back to Barcelona. There you go. That'd be a great ending. Hello, Mr. Murphy. How are you, the Murphy? Glad you caught me. I'm glad you're all here. So that's one thing off there. Let's stay on the Marvel tip in a roundabout way. Let's talk about the Avengers game. The Avengers game that came out last September. I didn't start playing it till November and completed it inside a couple of days. And that was like a couple of days of hardcore playing, not like an hour here or there. But it should have ticked all my boxes. Looks pretty good. Really liked what Crystal Dynamics did with the Tomb Raider reboot, the first one, not so much the second one. But it just fell flat to me, with the exception of Kamala Khan. The writing is great. The voice acting with Kamala Khan is great. That character is wonderful. I love the idea of playing as her. Can't wait to see the Miss Marvel series coming. That's coming. But the game, and I think I've said this before on this stream, and I think I've said this on several streams over the last sort of like 2 years, ever since their big reveal at E3 a couple of years ago. They went with voice talent that, while exceptional in the gaming sphere, didn't match up to what is now ingrained in every Marvel's fan as the voice of the Avengers. The voices: Stark, Thor, Captain America, Black Widow, and so on and so forth. And I know they probably didn't have the budgets to get those guys and girls, understandably so, but it might have been better to have sound-alikes as opposed to going for the recognizable voiceover names. And I think that's the first misstep, because it just felt disconnected to me and has done ever since. Characters like Kamala Khan, you don't really know. You don't have a frame of reference, because she hasn't had a big TV show yet. It's on the way. We know she's going to be in Captain Marvel too. So, we know that that's coming. But not to have, to have people sound so different, like bad comic book versions. And again, I don't mean to insult the voice actors who are incredible talents, but I think they're on a hiding to nothing. So that was the first thing. That's the first thing that pulled me out of it. And the second thing was, I had a conversation with somebody at that E3 after that first reveal, and the person disclosed that they were going to go for Avengers is Square Enix's version of Anthem, and that filled me with a fuck ton of dread. And it's proven. I mean, it's a grindy game. It's about to get more grindy because they're doing some more tweaks to the leveling up when they introduce Hawkeye and I think Kate. Is it Kate? I can't remember her last name. The lady Hawkeye, Kate. Not Hill. Somebody knows. Somebody knows who they are. But anyway, yes. Sorry, I'm looking. I'm looking the. I'm looking at the hello, Ali. How are you? Kate Bush, Kate Bishop. Thank you, Raypat. Kate Bishop. Thank you. I was thinking Kate Archer. I was Kate Hill. Kate Bush would be awesome as Hawkeye. I'm shooting up the hill. And that's my Kate Bush impersonation for today. See, you come, you get variety. Variety. Can anybody else do a Kate Bush impersonation looking like this? No, I don't think so. So yes, it's just too grindy, it's just too dull, and now they're tweaking the grind even more and making it harder for you to level up. The currency situation is just so convoluted and not fun. It just seems like a fucking money grab from day one. I understand you pay money for a license, you got to make that money back. But if you can't make it back with regards to your $60, piece of kit in the first place, then you're in the wrong business. And obviously, I will never be offered a consulting gig with Square Enix after this. But I just got to say, they fucked up. They got it wrong. And, it's again comes up to the powers that be. This is nobody at mid-level. This is always the powers that be who believe that they understand the market and then are surprised when shit goes south and the game becomes a joke. I've got nothing but sympathy for a lot of Square Enix staff and a lot of Crystal Dynamics staff, because I'm sure they pour their hearts and souls into these games. I know they do. And they want the games to be awesome, and they want the games to be wildly successful and popular and people to love them. And to see some of these decisions being made and knowing that they come generally from areas that have no fucking game playing experience is really annoying. And it's a shame. I will say that the best Marvel game so far still is the Sony Spider-Man game and Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 on the Switch, which is buggy as fuck and has serious level design issues in certain places. The way they force perspective changes on you, it's really quite annoying, but it's still more entertaining than Avengers, because Avengers, this is the other thing it lacks. The Marvel movies have a life, a vibrancy, a cheek to them, if you will, a little bit of, joie de vivre. The game doesn't. The game has none of the witty, snappy banter. And obviously, some of this is, when you have something like Robert Downey Jr. involved, he ad-libs and brings his personality in. But there's a lot of great script writing going on in the Marvel stuff. And again, I'm not saying the script's bad, but come on. I mean, it's just not got the joy of a Marvel game. And I blame Disney for this, to be honest with you. Because Disney, and this is another one, I'll never get a consulting gig with Disney. Why? Because I'm about to fucking rail on them for some of their stupid-ass decisions. Disney was so short-sighted that they shuttered their games division a couple of years ago after Disney Infinity. Disney Infinity had so much potential. Yes, we know the toys and games market was a bubble that went whoosh, gone. Disney Infinity could still be running today. Those toys, the Marvel's toys are actually really high quality. They had the cachet. Marvel is now bigger than ever before, along with all these other Pixar, etc. properties. They could still have been doing this. Not the Amiibo level, because let's face it, you want to talk niche? Look at the Skylanders stuff and look at the Amiibo stuff. That's niche. And those things have gone away, which means Marvel could have kept going. Oh, sorry, Disney could have kept going. But Disney was so short-sighted. They were like, oh, you know what we're going to do? We're going to license our games out to all and sundry. They're going to make crappy iPad games. They're going to make mediocre Star Wars games. They're going to make mediocre Marvel titles. And we will just count the money. For a company that is so keen on brand protection that it issues ceases and desist orders for the slightest infraction, you make a birthday cake that looks like Mickey Mouse, you better be careful, because the Disney fucking lawyers of screw you and up the ass are on their way to hit you with a cease and desist, because you had the temerity to make a Mickey cake without giving them their $3 fucking of money. And I know Disney will say, well, making games is a really tough project, and making games is really expensive. You're fucking Disney. Pre-pandemic, I am talking about pre-pandemic. You had to close the stores. You had to close the movie theaters, the Disney parks around the world. Pre that, you were making money hand over fucking fist. You have the biggest movie franchise in the world. And then you have the second biggest movie franchise in the world. And not only are they movies, they're comic books, they're TV shows, they're toys. You have Disney Plus. You are obviously spending money on producing this high-level content, which is great. But when Disney can do this with the movies, and let's face it, the stuff they did with Marvel, Kevin Feige, all hail Feige, the smartest thing they ever did was appoint him. They've not been able to replicate that with Star Wars, with the exception of Mando, in my opinion. And but none of the games, none of the entertainment properties, the video game properties, have hit the heights of any of the TV shows, any of the movies, in my opinion. And it needs somebody to come in to push for that standard and say, you know what? They should have had somebody there overseeing the Avengers game from the get-go. And when Square started to pull some stupid shit, they should have said, no, you don't get to do that. You are not going to triple monetize it. You are not going to sell additional content while the main game is broken. Main game, boring as shit. Fix it. It's not up to our level. But they don't have anybody to do that. Of course, if they were smart, they'd have their in-house fucking teams generating this content and generating these games over and over. No problem at all. They'd look amazing. They'd utilize some of the talent they've got writing TV shows and movies and so on and so forth and bring them into it. It would all be part of the bigger MCU experience, the bigger Star Wars experience, drop them on the canon, and then, oh, can you imagine that? That is a true multimedia event. Remember that word, multimedia? Transmedia. Ooh, transmedia was the word for a while as well. Multimedia was like, oh, it's on a CD-ROM. We can't use that. Let's use transmedia now because it means TV, movies, comic books, and toilet paper. So yes, transmedia was a buzzword. I once heard that in Imagine Entertainment's offices when we were in discussions with them over a video game and movie tie-in, and somebody said transmedia. And, oh, that person was an oily fuck. I mean, ugh, talk about creepy marketing bugger. Iron Man 2 was okay. Iron Man 3 was awful. Ooh, fight me. I will fucking fight anybody who says Iron Man 3 is good. Iron Man 3 is a waste of a movie and a waste of talents and a waste of the Mandarin and a waste of Extremis and a waste of AIM. So there you go. Oh, what's happened to Brandon? Hang on. Okay, I'm just checking the thing. So I ended up on a little rant. So what I basically said was Disney should have their own games division. They should start rebuilding it, pulling some quality talent in and having them work with their own effects people, of which there are numerous versions, storyboarding people and script writing people. And they should hire me to take care of it. And I'll live stream every day. Yes, Rogue One was great. Rogue One was great. But the other Star Wars stuff since, I mean, the Han Solo movie had its interesting points. Ron Howard's not one of them, but there you go. Yes, you're here for Lance. Anyway, that's what I'm saying. Disney dropped the ball. Square Enix dropped the ball. Everything that Disney does with Star Wars and with Marvel in particular, by keeping those brands together and dropping stuff, cross-pollinating across to create a bigger universe, is something they should extend to games. I mean, at the same time, they were busy fucking Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. over because that came and went. And then the Netflix Marvel universe, where we had Defenders and we had Jessica Jones and Punisher, Iron Fist, Power Man, and Defender. Or Luke Cage, rather. Luke Cage and Daredevil. I said Defenders. But we had all those characters and those shows, with the exception of Iron Fist, were on the whole pretty damn good. A little overlong. Could have done with a little bit of editing. But the fact that they were on the outs of the MCU and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. were on the outs of the MCU, Those are the mistakes then that they've now rectified, obviously, with Disney Plus and with WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier and Secret Invasion and Loki and Mando for Star Wars. They've rectified those things in the TV world. And in the TVs and movies are connecting, which is great. I'm sure the books are starting to connect as well, because we're going to see, I think, Grand Admiral Thrawn at some point. Teeth not working again today. But wouldn't it be great if they could do that with the video games? They have maps. They have roadmaps. Phase 4. I'm going to stick with Marvel, and we're just going to stick with Marvel and keep on this tangent. They have the roadmaps that's mapped out. Stage 4, we know what's coming in Stage 4. But they have 5, 6, and 7 all mapped out. Why? Because Kevin Feige's fucking genius. He's smart. He's efficient. He knows his universe. And they have all this stuff. They will have the TV shows. They'll have the movies. They'll have X, Y, and Z. I tried to forget Inhumans, Raypad. Let's totally forget Inhumans. So they have all that. And this stuff is probably about 6, 7, 8 years out now, because everything's coming back to them. Spider-Man is the one where they've got this ongoing deal, but everything else is back within Marvel's purview. All the mutants and their connected universe, which is great. So why, if we can have TV show, movie, comic book, if that still goes, it's still going to be a going concern. But why can't we have a section for video games? Why can't we have especially as games as a service now, why can't we have an ongoing video game section where they have these games that connect to the movies, the TV shows, and to each other? I mean, you want to talk about a fucking wonderful MMO. How about that with regards to just a Marvel Universe MMO that just is... You can be your own superhero and you're part of these bigger worlds. And when much like Fortnite does it with their tie-ins, but imagine that in one big Marvel game. That'd be pretty fucking cool. That would be pretty fucking cool, in my opinion. Okay. So yes, there you go. Went off on a tangent, ranted away for God knows how long. Half an hour, I've been all told. Let's go back to the chat room. Hello, David B. Disney RPG says Disney Star Wars ain't great. Mando and Rogue are the bright spots. Yes, I know a lot of people. Rogue One is definitely something that divides a lot of people. Me, I like it. Yes, apparently, Peter Armstrong says, I love Daredevil. There's talk of him appearing in the MCU. My understanding is that he has filmed a scene in Spider-Man. Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock. That's my understanding. That would be cool. It would be great to see. And look, it would be great to see Luke Cage back and Jessica Jones. I mean, I feel sorry for Finn, what's his name, who plays Iron Man, Danny Rand, Iron Fist, rather. I think it was a hiding to nothing. A lot of people were really upset with the casting of a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white guy as Danny Rand, who is, and has always been in the comic books, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white guy, rich kid, who ends up in this, this mystical place where he learns the power of the Iron Fist. People got upset about that. Fucking stupid, if you ask me, especially when we have Shang-Chi coming. Now, if they'd have cast Shang-Chi as a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white guy, then we'd have some problems. But, when they follow the actual source material, you can't really have a problem. It's not as if the source material was mega racist or anything like that. It's just a sign of the times. And I think we could have still had this. It's just that it was crippled by shitty stories. Yeah. I was off on a fucking total tangent. Yes, so yes, it would be lovely to see all those guys come back into the MCU and the Defenders. Hell, just bring the Defenders. They left everything on a friggin' so many cliffhangers, especially the end of Luke Cage. Talk about a cliffhanger. Ooh, if you haven't seen it, watch it. Stream Luke Cage and Daredevil and the Defenders. Jessica Jones is one that for me is more of an acquired taste. And then if you're bored, stoned out of your mind, or just have a sadomasochistic streak, stream Iron Fist. Okay, so yes, all right. Let's just put Marvel to one side because I've been talking about that for a long time, and I fixed Disney's video game problem. It's all fixed. If you know anybody knows anybody in the high ups at Disney, send them a link to this and say I'm available to consult and make their games better. Because apparently I'm a know-it-all who can fix fucking everything. Next up, world peace, world hunger, and ending the pandemic because I can. Should they leave those Netflix shows as canon? I think they should. I think they should. If the actors are available to come back and reprise their roles, I really would like to see them get a good run at it. The temptation, of course, is that those shows are now 8 to 10 years old in some cases. And they're going to go, oh, well, the actors are going to be too old. We need to recast. Much the same as the X-Men. We know that if we get a Wolverine, it's not going to be Hugh Jackman. And he is synonymous with that role. The other X-Men roles, I mean, outside of Professor X and Magneto, I think the other X-Men roles, the fact that they recast them with younger actors wasn't necessarily here or there, to be honest with you, because let's face it, the big three in the X-Men movies has always been Magneto, Professor X, and Wolverine. That's it. Wolverine was the breakout star. The other two were the glue that held it together. And when they brought, McKellen and Patrick Stewart were moved to one side for Fassbender and McAvoy, it worked because, again, strong, talented actors. Not saying the other actors aren't strong and talented, but let's face it, with the possible exception, and I'm gonna tweak this slightly, with the possible exception of Mystique and Beast from the young X-Men coming through, because they were pretty strong. I mean, they're obviously done with that universe. We know that. Anybody who's watched the horrible Dark Phoenix movie will know some of that. Yeah, the rest of the characters were interchangeable. In, out, who cared? I mean, the fact that we've had 2 attempts at Dark Phoenix, one with the absolutely disgusting X-Men 3, Brett fucking Ratner. God, that was a horrible movie. I mean, it was almost as if it was produced by somebody who's never seen, never read the fucking Dark Phoenix storyline. And then, of course, X-Men, the newer X-Men, Dark Phoenix, which was the last one Fox did, looks like, I think it was Simon Kinberg, looks and feels like it was directed and written by somebody who never read fucking Dark Phoenix. We're talking about time, especially the old X-Men stuff. Oh, sorry, the old X-Men. The Fox reboots, from First Class through to Dark Phoenix, they were set in time frames that were meant to tap into almost the original comic books. They devolved into a gimmick where it's like, okay, so we've got one in the 60s now, we've got one in the 70s. Oh, now we've got one in the 80s. Now we've got one in the 90s. And it's like the people who aged like 3 years. Doesn't really work. Became a gimmick. But it would have been great if we could have had a longer thread, a longer, sort of like a build-up movie to Dark Phoenix. Dark Phoenix could have been a two-parter. It really could have. And it could have really brought in the Hellfire Club. You could have brought the Shi'ar in properly. Could have done a bit of a more mix with regards to some of the characters. I mean, Colossus isn't even in those X-Men movies when he's in the the Deadpool movies, and he's totally so viable as a character. But I mean, they could have brought some stuff in. They could have done it better. Really could have done it. I'm looking forward to seeing what Marvel does. My vote is that my feeling is they're just going to reset everything back to the beginning, and this new Mutants movie that we're going to see is going to be some people getting triggered by a global event, probably something caused by Wanda Maximoff. Oh yes, the X-Men TV series, also on Disney Plus. That's a great theme tune. David Tennant's awesome at everything. Let's see. Yes, they tried to make a Gambit movie. They've tried that with several people. Channing Tatum was supposed to be Gambit for a while, and then he fell off the face of the earth. Sophie Turner, she did not make a good Jean Grey. I mean, it seems like Sansa Stark was not a great stretch for her. I'm not saying she's a bad actress, but maybe she's a bad actress. I just don't think she's a great actress. Yeah. Yes, Marvel's 90s cartoons were pretty good. And look, I mean, now the DC cartoons are great. The DC animated stuff has always been strong as well. DC animated stuff has been better than the movies most of the time, Nolan trilogy accepted, in my, and the first two Superman movies were Chris Reeve, in my opinion. But definitely in the last 10, 15 years. Although that said, the Suicide Squad, R-rated, James Gunn, might be good. Oh, and we're actually we're a week away from Zack Snyder's Justice. Sorry, even the fucking thought of it is just sending me to sleep. I really hope. Look, when this Justice League hits, if it's as bad as I expect it to be, I really hope that all those screaming for the Snyder Cut will turn around and say, "Well, that was a fucking waste of time." But they won't, because we want the Snyder Cut. We don't like Joss Whedon because he did Marvel and Avengers and he's trying to make it too fun and it has to be dark and Zack Snyder's useful and wonderful. Oh, bollocks. Snyder's a one-trick pony, in my opinion. But yes, I will watch it when it hits HBO Max because it's paid for in my subscription. If they're going to piss away their money on these sort of things, I might as well watch it, and I will report back. I will watch all 4 fucking hours of it, and I will come back and I will tell you if I like it or not. And if I liked it, I'll say I liked it. I mean, some of his Henry Cavill as Superman, no problem at all. Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, no problem at all. I really like Batfleck. Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne and Batman. Really did. The Flash. Really good casting. It's just the stories have been shit. But the actors, the characters are great. The actual casting has been great. Except for the villains, which we've had this ongoing discussing. Hello, disabled Somali guy. How are you? I haven't watched the new Superman and Lois TV show, and I'll tell you why. Apparently it's impossible for me to really get the CW on any of my streaming services without downloading their specific app. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait until it comes on HBO Max and then watch it all the way through. That's how I've been catching up with the likes of The Flash and the end of the Arrowverse and so on and so forth. But yes, I'll download it and have a watch. Okay. All right. Who is a poet? Yes, Sophie. Wow. Okay. So what else was I going to talk about? Ooh, I was going to talk about Valheim, wasn't I? Because people have been going on at me to play fucking Valheim. So I bought it. You can tell we're in a pandemic. And I know the game's early access. But it's basically Minecraft without the blocky fucking visuals. Am I wrong? I mean, what has happened to games where we had Minecraft and it came along and it was like, oh, I get to build, I get to dig, I get to create, this is fun, blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay, it's cutesy, it's blocky, blah, blah, blah. And if you like any of these games, good luck to you. Not my cup of tea. And then we had Animal Crossing, where it's like, oh, I've got this on my 3DS on my Switch. And it's like, oh, I got to buy my house and decorate my house and collect seashells and sell things and upgrade my toilet. And I really want a pair of unicorn horns to hang from my roof and blah, 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 and go swimming and this and that and the other. And now you have Valheim, where it's like, you died. And if you want, and now you're alive, but undead. I'm really not fucking clear. I'm not really clued in on the story at all. But you wander around, you have to pick up bits of wood and stone, and then you can make a stone axe, and then you can chop down trees for more wood, and you can pick up flint, and you can pick up berries, because you have to eat and create a shelter, otherwise you get cold and you die. Again, I don't know. And I see these videos. I've watched all these videos on Valheim, and I gotta say, people are really into it, and they're putting a lot of work into it, and it's like fucked and amazing. I've created Buckingham Palace in Valheim, and I'm like, what the fuck? I just, I played it for, wandered around a couple of hours, beaten things up. I built myself a straw bed, felt very proud of that, and a couple of other things. And then I just realized that what I'm doing is basically real fucking life. Unless this is a zombie apocalypse simulator training module thing, where it's like, okay, world's going to end tomorrow. We're not going to have electricity. How are you going to survive? Well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up a stone, and I'm going to pick up a piece of wood, and I'm jam them together. Are they an axe yet? Oh, okay, not quite. But all right, now I've made my axe, and I hit something over the head so I can eat it, but I have to start a fire and blah, blah, blah. And since when did this become entertainment? I mean, literally, are we this close to real life simulator where it's like, okay, you have to get out of bed, and you have to go to work and earn your money, and you have to eat and crap and clean yourself and shag and this and that and the other. I blame the fucking Sims. The Sims started off all this shit. Will Wright and Sim City and stuff for that. But at least those things were cartoony and fun. Now they've all gotten so fucking, I mean, I know Animal Crossing is cartoony and bright and cheerful, but it's in a way that's like, want to throttle every fucking character in there. But yeah, how did we get to this? I mean, when I play my video games, I want escapism, and I am down with some that mirror real life to a certain degree. I played World of Warcraft for a very, very long time. The Old Republic. Played a little bit of Fallout 76 a few times, but that's one that's, again, a little bit too heavy. I mean, if I want to play a game, I don't want to worry about fucking eating unless it's just going to give me a buff. I don't want to be told I'm hungry. I don't want to be told I'm tired, or I'm cold. I'm a fucking. It's a video game avatar. I want to escape into it. It's like James Bond. We're watching the latest fucking James Bond movie, and he's chasing everybody, and he's chasing this guy, shoots him, and shoots at him, and then goes, oh, sorry, hang on, I gotta have a pee. A bit too many vodka martinis last night, you know what I mean? And then zips up, and oh fuck, the guy's gone. Why are we having these? Why are these games so successful? I mean, is it a pandemic after effect? Is it because we are stuck at home that we need to imagine that the shit we're doing at home we're now doing on an island in a Viking lore-inspired fucking universe? I mean, if you're going to do this, at least make it more escapist, for God's sake. At least make it more fun. I mean, that's why I like Cyberpunk. That's why I like the Fallout, Fallout 76, Fallout New Vegas in particular. These games have this fun about them that, I am being something I am not going to be in real life. Because let's face it, if shit goes south and climate change, pandemics, civil war, all this shit could happen. It's been happening. The last thing I want before I hit that is to play the video game version. And I certainly not play it for like 8, 10, 12, 14 hours a day just so I can build this a wonderful castle and then have to invite people into my server. I'm like, fuck off. I kind of like pandemic life to a certain degree because, and I made this, observation to my wife, I'm almost eligible here in California. In fact, I'm 10 days away from being eligible for the first vaccine shot. And we were sitting and talking, and I'm like, it's like, oh, so when I get vaccinated, the immunity, the first shot will start to give me enough immunity that we can go out and do certain things. Still wear masks, obviously, but we can actually be out in an open space with friends. And we can start to see them more often. And they can come over and hang out on our patio when we go to theirs. And it made me realize I don't want the fucking vaccination. I like my friends, but I also like my friends right here. I mean, yes, I'll see them. I said this before. I'll see them at E3, give them the hug, catch up with them. But E3 is a week at best. And this is no judgment on my friends. I'm sure they can only handle seeing me for 3 or 4 times a year over the space of a week at E3, and they're probably quite happy with that. But I'm also of the frame of mind like, I don't fuck it. I'm happy seeing people over Zoom to a certain degree. And look, I'm lucky. I have a beautiful, lovely wife who I'm with. I've got the cats, I've got the dog, lots of cuddles, physical contact, great. But yeah, I actually genuinely thought, shit, is this the end of the excuses for the crotchety old man? Oh, honey, do you want to go to the theater? No. Why? Pandemic. Oh, okay. And then in 6 months' time, it's going to be, honey, do you want to go to the theater? No. Why? Pandemic. But you've been vaccinated. Fuck. I don't want that. I like being able to watch shit and stream shit and just have my little room and occasionally see people, for maybe half an hour and then go, oh, all right. Maybe I've been on my own way too long. Maybe I've been locked up way too long and been working from home too long and I've lost all my social skills. Maybe I was a PR guy for too long because I had to be socially nice to so many people for such a long period of my working life that I just drained that aspect of me and it's never coming back. It's like, I've used that power up. All gone, not refreshing. I'm going to go back to chat rooms. Let's see. I think the appeal of Valheim of the cooperative experience. Again, fuck that shit. I don't want to cooperate with anybody else. I don't do that in real life. Think I'm going to do it in a video game? Bollocks. Red Wizard needs food badly. Yes. Might sound old saying this. We have Valheim Among Us, Fall Guys, etc. They just seem like fads, says Disturbed Swan. And I'm not sure if fads is the word, but yes, we do have these cycles where this sort of stuff comes in. Trends, fads. Yeah. Actually, you know what? You're right. We do have these games that, and again, when we're all stuck at home in the pandemic, we can't really do much else. We do our work on our Zooms and blah, blah, blah. Those who are very lucky enough to work at home, I know there are a lot of people going out and just working. I'm just talking about my own life experience. There are people out there who are putting themselves in harm's way to make sure we get food and get the power on and get medical care. And those people are fucking heroes who should be inoculated and are worth more than $15 fucking an hour, you Republican fuckholes. Fucking Bitch McConnell and fucking Josh Hawley and all those fucking Ted Cruz and fucking Marco Rubio. You should hang your heads in shame. And if you vote for those fucknuts, political rant, obviously, you vote for those fucknuts, you're voting for your own fucking extermination because they don't care about you. They've got healthcare. They've got money. They're not making $15 an hour, but they do sure as hell don't want you to vote to have $15 an hour. And yet you vote for them because they say, oh, let's stop the lesbian one-legged transgender black dwarfs from fucking having $15 an hour. And apparently that offends your sensibilities because you're not getting $15 an hour. But if you got rid of those fuckers in the first place, you wouldn't have this problem. And I wouldn't rant as much about politics. So, yeah, sorry about that. Where was I? Ooh, renty. Yes, I was just saying that I like the fact that I can do stuff on Zoom. I can work from home. I don't have to drive in traffic. For me now, driving is actually an enjoyable experience because I don't ever have to commute. So yes, why would I just do that? I mean, why would I do that in a game? I mean, look at Grand Theft Auto Online. Grand Theft Auto Online, you can actually own businesses. But I saw somebody, a major GTA 5 streamer, quit GTA Online because he spent more time managing his businesses than going off and doing heists and stuff. And that's where it just gets a little bit ridiculous. And I know there are people who take great pride and get deep enjoyment from that micromanagement aspect of creating a second virtual life and having a job and going to bed and doing this and doing that. Let's call them accountants. I'm not one of those. But I'm just saying, why are these games so popular? Is it the pandemic? That's the question I'm going to ask to you guys. Is the pandemic to blame for the rise of these particular types of games? Or is it we're all just sad fuckers who can't understand that video games should be proper escapism, not escapism masked as real life? I mean, we're all, if you believe simulation theory, we're already in the shittiest fucking simulation ever. Now we want to escape that shitty simulation by jumping into another simulation that puts us in an even shittier position? Come on. And people are fucking paying for it. I paid $20 for that. And it'll probably get better. I know it's Steam Early Access. But I got Vault, come on. Have I met David Jaffe? I have met Mr. J once at a Sony event a while back. He's top quality bloke. It's interesting. I think somebody asked him not so long ago if we'd ever do a YouTube or a Twitch chat, which is something I'd be honored to do. I mean, guy's absolute fucking rock star. Yeah. So yes, I met him once. I think he was at one of the Twisted Metal events that Sony threw, probably about 8-9 years ago. Anyway, all right, let's go back to the chat room. Side banter. I enjoyed the gang war stuff in San Andreas. Might just be I didn't like San Andreas. GTA 5 is still my favorite. I think it's the pinnacle. It's just so much good stuff. So much good stuff. Like Red Lobster. Or whoever's that fucking Subway or whoever's slogan that is. Ranting Greek Gamer, nice to meet you. How you doing? Sorry, it's time to check the throat because obviously talking for almost an hour again. I'm glad to see so many people agree with me about being antisocial. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Because let's face it, when we're not out in the workspace, we're not going to work sick for a start. It's amazing how much flu infections have gone down, and the common cold and lots of other things have gone down because most of us are staying at home. And especially in America, where one of the things I found from day one is that if you are sick, the pressure to go into work sick is immense. If you have the temerity to say, I'm sick, I don't want to come in the office and fucking infect people, I want to sleep in my bed and recover, you are viewed like you just took a crap on the American flag, then set fire to it, and then shoved it up Ronald Reagan's ass. It's a very strange mentality. If you're sick, stay home. That's why we should have a good social safety net for people, so that they don't feel pressured to going into work when they're sick and infecting everybody else. Because it's phenomenally short-sighted for any employer who says, well, you're supposed to come in while you're sick. What happens if I infect everybody else? Well, that's the way it is. You're all on minimum wage anyway. Like, fuck you. How about you go out of fucking business? Let's take some of that CEO salary, divvy it up amongst the people. Yes, I'm a socialist bastard and proud of it. Okay. Mark Cuban's podcasting platform, Fireside, has launched. It's going to be the new Clubhouse. Great, because Clubhouse is so fucking fun. Jesus. I did a couple of things on Clubhouse with some friends, and I don't know if they're still doing it, but I just said, time out. I'm not fucking wasting my time with that stupid ass thing. It just seems to be full of fucking smug assholes. And if I want to see a smug or hear a smug asshole, I'll put this video camera on and I'll look into it. Because I am the smuggest asshole I know. I want to do a stream with Jim Sterling. Two Brits ranting will be entertaining. I I haven't spoken to Jim in a long time, but he's just evolved beyond all recognition now. I mean, he's doing the game stuff still, but his wrestling thing's taken off. I mean, he is a fucking legend as far as I'm concerned. Dami Sensei, what do you think about the Bethesda and Xbox acquisition? I did talk about this a little while ago. I think it's great for Xbox because of the content they've got access to now. And I think it's great for Bethesda because I've got several friends who work there. I'm very lucky to have some very close ties with Bethesda and people who work there. And they are, some of them are very set for life. I can't fucking argue with that. And honestly, we can't really say anything and make any projections about what's going to happen because Microsoft and Bethesda are all singing off the same sheet that we will be doing PlayStation and Nintendo and PC and Xbox because we are all about the games. Let's see what happens when it comes to the next Skyrim game or Fallout 5 or whatever the fuck's next. Deathloop still, still seems to be leading on PS5. Let's see how that goes. Once those decisions are made and those announcements are made, then we can dissect them. Let's see. Ranting Greek Gamer says, your show a night game was my inspiration to name my YouTube. Thank you so much. It's always nice when I inspire somebody in the right way. I mean, I've had some emails over the years where like, dude, I'm so inspired that you stand up against everything and everybody, and now I fucking hate women and stuff. I'm like, dude, not me. Sorry. Whoa. Time out. You go away. Take a pill. Relax. But yeah, I mean, if people want to stay, record, talk, share their passions, as long as you're not ripping the shit out of people just for no good reason, or or for the color of their skin or whatever, more power to you. And look, Greece. I mean, I've got some friends in Greece. I know you've had it rough with various issues over the last couple of years. The fires are just the tip of the iceberg. So much love to my friends in Greece, Ted and Lucy. If you're watching, love you. Let's see what's next. Pontius Rodling. What an interesting name. I went on a business trip to the US once, and a guy at our client came in with a fucking flu one day. Guess how you exactly. Just ridiculous. Crazy Lord asks, am I Jewish? No, but I'm married to a Jewish woman. I am certainly not going to go down the Candace Owens route. And is it Candace Owens or me? Oh, no, is it? No, I apologize. Not Candace Owens. Azalea Banks, I think it is, who said that because she's now engaged to a Jewish guy, she's Jewish. So, yes, I am not Jewish. My wife is. To become Jewish, I would have to do a lot of studying. And I'm not a religious person. And I have no problem with people of faith, providing that their faith does not impinge upon the freedoms, or the basic decency, and the rights of others to be themselves and love and marry and raise children or not have children or whatever. Any religion that takes this message and manipulates it into one of hate should be shut the fuck down. And that's the problem with religious extremists, because they are people who take what is an essentially, in my view, decent core message of don't be dickheads, be cool to each other, just be nice, and twist it and look for the most asinine, evil aspect of it, because they are extremists. Anybody who's a fucking extremist is a fucking danger to this planet. And those people ruin it for everybody else. If you want to have faith in something, have faith in something, in a higher power, whatever. Me, I believe in two things. I believe in Santa Claus or Father Christmas. And I believe in the homeboy. Because Homer Simpson is every man. Homer Simpson is every man or every woman, every person just wants to have beer, donuts, and bacon. Things that can kill me, but you getting beer for free right now. All right, let's go back to the chatty room. Will Starfield tie the Elder Scrolls? I have no fucking idea. I've been trying to get info on Starfield out of my friends at Bethesda, and they're like, fuck off. We're not telling you shit. So, yes, I'm just so... I'd love to know what Starfield is. I don't think it will, but who knows? Let me see. Just remember that was okay. I once saw some videos talked about some of the books in the Skyrim being tied to one of the Fallout games. So they said there's probably Easter eggs like that in Skyrim, probably in Fallout too. Father Christmas, give me some money. Yeah, that song is actually quite funny. Although, look, let's face it, and we are now 9 months away from Christmas, which is my favorite time of the year, actually. This is a little known fact about me, or a very known fact if you follow me, if you're friends with me on Facebook. My favorite time of the year is from the very end of September through to January the 1st. Rest of the year can fuck off. I mean, I live in Southern California, which is now, heading to be one of the hottest places on Earth for all the wrong reasons, climate change. But September through the end of December, Halloween, fucking love it. Decorate the house. Get through October, Thanksgiving, I can appreciate it. Anything that involves more turkey, always good to me. But it does seem like a American cock block on Christmas. Would rather we replaced, take Thanksgiving and replace one of the shittier holidays. Combine Thanksgiving and the 4th of July, middle of the year. It's not going to affect anybody. Because why would you want to travel for Thanksgiving and then travel less than a month later again for Christmas? It's just a con brought on by the travel industry. And then there's Christmas. I mean, December is my favorite month for 3 very selfish reasons. Reason the 1, Christmas. Fucking love Christmas. Not religious. Nothing to do with the baby Jesus or anything like that. But if that's your bag, you go, baby. But I like the big guy in the red suit with a hefty sack and the white beard. That's going to be me in a couple of years' time. I love decorating the house. I love seeing my friends. Christmas is the one time I'm really happy to see my friends, just being with friends and celebrating. I just feel happier and everything seems brighter, even though it's dark outside and the weather's a little bit colder, and it just feels so good, and it takes me back to my childhood. And yeah, it's just, I love getting gifts and seeing family, and sending gifts to them and seeing their reactions when they open stuff, seeing my wife's reaction when she gets something that I've got her something. And obviously it's fun to get things as well. But especially as I get older, I think the giving aspect of Christmas is one I just fucking adore doing stuff, because I think also we're nicer, especially in countries that have Christmas as a major festive holiday. People do act nicer on the whole. Yes, you'll get the dick bags trying to beat the shit out of each other to get fucking My Little Tubby Pony telly fucking Cabbage Patch toy for the kids, or an Xbox for a fucking PS5. But people do seem to be a little nicer, and I wish we could stretch that out the entire year, instead of us being absolute fucking arseholes to each other for 11 months a year. Reason the 2nd, 12th of December 2012, the day I got married to my darling wife. And despite me trying to die a couple of times since, lady won't let me go. She keeps, I thought I was out and she pulls me back in. But yeah, 12, that's when we got married. It was a great day. Even though I actually had the flu that day. But it's it's just a great date, and it's just for Christmas. And yeah, it's middle of the month, it's just fun. And then of course, being utterly selfish, my birthday, December the 1st, another year older, but it's a great way to start things off, especially with Thanksgiving the weekend before. Party on, party. December's a fun month in my house. So, and I'm going to be doing these streams in the build up to Christmas, and as we go through Halloween and stuff like that. And I'm going to have some fucking fun with these streams. There's going to be Christmas related streams, not religion based Christmas, There's the Marcus Beer version of Christmas with fucking. I will talk about the movies I would like to watch, the albums I like to listen to. You'll see my decorations, and it will be awesome. And then the Halloween stuff as well, because that's what I'm going to do. 4th of July. America was fighting with the English. The Welsh were in the fucking pub. Okay. I'm going to go back to the chat room. Okay, let's see. Back to TV. Have I watched Smallville? I did watch Smallville back in the day. First couple of seasons, but I kind of fell away from it. With service Emerson S. Ikuta Jr., with services like Spotify and iTunes, do you get new things to listen, or do you keep listening to things you enjoy? A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. The wife is the one who listens to more new music than me, and she will put stuff on. We got a couple of Amazon Alexas dotted around the house as our home stereo system, and she'll put stuff on, and either I will listen to it or I will say, turn that shit off. But there's some stuff that I tend to enjoy. But again, I do, I am quite old, old nostalgia guy, and nostalgia is a very powerful thing, because especially, the older you get, you yearn for some of the experiences that you had in your early life that makes you feel, comfortable and warm and gooey. So yes, I do listen to a lot of 80s music, a lot of 80s classic hip hop in particular. 90s music, early 2000s. When I was out clubbing, partying, being woo. Now the only club I can look forward to going to is the AARP, which is the old folks club. So yes, it's I do tend to perhaps lean a little more vintage nostalgia type thing, but I think don't think you can judge me on that one. It's funny, my taste in games, I'm happier to try way newer games than the music. Okay, why is Christmas TV so shit nowadays? I know Christmas specials. I mean, there seems to be. I don't know. It's like in Britain now, but when I was growing up in Britain, every show would have a Christmas special, and they would air in December, and it'd be fantastic. And I came to this country, and I'd be like, "Where's the Christmas specials of the shows?" And they go, "What? No, we don't watch TV on Christmas Day. We're too busy hanging out with the family." And I'm like, "Fuck that." So yes, it would be lovely to see more Christmas shows. And if there are ones that you recommend, let me know. Replay says, I want to tell you that the retailer I work for has a big bullseye system, but it's no longer selling SGs, so only online sales for them. Oh, wow. Okay, that's some targeted media, targeted sales rather. Let's see. Yep, Daft Gear TV, yes, do the same. For the last 3 years, I've been celebrating Halloween since September by watching horror movies every day from September the 1st to October the 31st. We do that from October 1st. That's when I get the Halloween decorations up, decorate the front of the house. Sometimes it's more cutesy fun. One year I had a fucking witch's cauldron going with fucking skeletons that had red pulsing lights coming out of their mouths to show that their souls were being sucked in. And there was a big vampire bat skeleton rising from the cauldron. It was awesome, and a fog machine going, kick-ass fog machine actually. So yeah, we do the same horror films, and then on Christmas we do the Christmas movies again all the way through. Also have a great snow machine, because that's how Christmas I am. Let's see, Bayesian Delta, beer. Hey man, I remember watching you when I was 16. Oh my God, yes. Well, that was a long time ago for you. Even longer for me, but thank you. Thank you for watching. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for watching all the Video Demand stuff. I'm glad you joined me. This is great. Thanks for everybody who's always, the fact that you give up your time to hang out with me is really quite fun. Let me see. Going to work is sick. Going to work sick is bad, but getting married sick is okay. Well, let's face it. The flu kicked in sort of like the day before, and I did have a Z-Pack and a Tamiflu, and not much I could do about it because it was a wedding and we had people coming. So I was dosed the fuck up. I can barely remember most of it. I made up my wedding vows on the fly. People laughed. That's a good thing, right? Let's see. Is Parasite Eve a Christmas game? I don't know. Never played it. Lethal Weapon is a holiday movie. Absolutely. Anything that takes place over the Christmas period is a holiday movie. And I don't care if Mel Gibson or Bruce Willis say otherwise. I know Bruce Willis says Die Hard's not a Christmas movie. It's set at fucking Christmas. It's a Christmas movie. Love Actually. Have I heard any Greta Van Fleet for Zeppelin? I can't say I have. My wife probably has. She actually likes Led Zepp as well. And as for my old school hip hop credentials, I mean, Run DMC, Beastie Boys, Public Enemy, Fat Boys, EPMD, Kool Moe D, Full Force, Curtis Blow, bunch of British hip hop artists at the time: Derek B, Hijack, the Wee Papa Girl Rappers, Salt and Pepper, Moni Love, Queen Latifah. I mean, that's all the shit I listen to, and it's not shit. It's like LL Cool J. That's what I listened to in the 80s. It's funny, after I had a phase of listening to Adam the Ants, I then went into this hip hop phase. Love Actually, Ray, you're gonna have to explain that comment to me. I don't know what's going on, but Love Actually. Gavin Estate, did you see Christmas special? Yes, that was good. I'm looking forward to seeing another one, providing James Corden can stop being a dick. Does Mr. Beer like Daft Punk? I can take or leave Daft Punk. I know a lot of people are unhappy that they broke up. I love the Around the World song. I love the stuff they did for Tron, the Tron sequel. So yeah, some of this stuff just hits a chord with me, no pun intended. But it's not like I'd fucking scream and run to see them in a concert. But yeah, I like some of their stuff. Let me see. Black Mirror's Christmas specials, always great. Again, created by Brits. Charlie Brooker. Anyway, but yes. We like Christmas. We like fucked up Christmas even better. Random question. Would you and the missus ever consider living in Hawaii? No. Love Hawaii. Been to Maui. It's beautiful. They're beautiful islands, beautiful people. They get fucking mullered by weather. I don't think that's something I could do 12 months, just 12 months a year being cut off from the mainland. We are looking at maybe moving, but we're going to go east coast, maybe New York State, maybe Vermont, maybe Connecticut. Also, again, getting hammered by weather, but I think that's where we would end up. That's our last big adventure. And no matter where we go, as long as I've got an internet connection, I still will be streaming because this is what I do now. Tribe Called Quest. Yeah, Tribe Called Quest. De La Soul. Team Godzilla or Kong? That's a tough one. I never really had the Godzilla affiliation that a lot of people have had watching the classic movies. But I've never viewed either Godzilla or Kong as sort of like heroes or heroic figures. I mean, obviously, we now do have Godzilla versus Kong coming very soon. And again, we looked at the trailer, talked about the trailer a couple of weeks ago, and it's like they give away so much of the fucking movie. I don't really care about why, about Godzilla beating the shit out of Kong. I want to know why, and vice versa, obviously, but why? And we know, we'll just watch it. I liked the previous Godzilla one. I liked, not the last Godzilla one. That was a little bit, Skull Island was pretty good. Really enjoyed that. That was actually the first movie I saw after the heart attack 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 4.5 years ago. Okay. Yes, I watched Peter Armstrong. I watched the Godzilla cartoon too. Godzilla and Godzuki. Godzuki, the Scrappy-Doo of the Godzilla universe. Let me see. Dave Bond, do you ever watch The Box of Delights? I can't say I have. It's probably on BritBox. I'll have to have a look at that. And am I caught up with everything? Jesus. All right, I am. Oh, wow. 1 hour and 15 minutes have just tootled by. Touch wood. Everything seems to be working. The multi-stream seems to be working. The multi-chat seems to be working. Yeah, we'll see how this goes now. I'm seeing all this stuff coming through. obviously, if all of a sudden I get hit with a smack on the wrist from Twitch for multi-streaming, well, we'll just have to go back to once a week. But yeah, this is good. I am happy. And hopefully you guys are happy too. Thank you so much for joining me. I am now going to rest my weary feet because I'm old. Thank you again. Check the streaming times for next week. The schedule will probably be Tuesday around 2 p.m. again, Pacific. Look for more information coming soon about the Discord thing. Like I said, I've got my own server now. I just want to make sure I use it judiciously and perhaps use it as something that is a perk for people who eventually subscribe. Thanks for all your comments. Thanks for all your suggestions with regards to what I can do. Yeah, I'm just going to keep on going, keep on trucking, man. And thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Look after each other. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, which is a lot nowadays. I'm too old. I get frightened by the sky. All right. Well, that's it. We out. Peace.